heard something beautiful.
In December 2022, Qatar promised the world an architectural miracle, the first ever recyclable World Cup. They designed a stadium out of colorful shipping containers built to vanish completely from the Doha waterfront. They promised to slice their giant arenas in half, shipping over 170,000 seats to developing nations, and turning the remaining shells into local schools, clinics, and neighborhood shopping malls. Yet here we are in 2026, and those massive arenas still dominate the desert skyline. The shipping containers never left the port. The seats were never sent away. The conventional wisdom says this is a classic white elephant story, a multi-billion-dollar graveyard of empty desert monuments. But the conventional wisdom is wrong. What looks like a broken promise is actually the execution of a highly calculated, multi-decade geopolitical chess move. Qatar did not build a legacy of waste. They engineered a permanent physical monopoly on global sports. To understand how we got here, we have to look back at the moment the circus left town. We all remember the imagery, golden confetti raining down under the night sky as Lionel Messi hoisted the gold trophy. It was the crowning achievement of a tournament that took over 12 years and an estimated $220 billion of infrastructure spending to construct. Qatar did not just build stadiums, they transformed an entire nation. A state-of-the-art metro system, highways, 5-star luxury hotels, and an entire shiny modern metropolis called Lusail rose directly from empty sand. But when the millions of international tourists flew home, a staggering mathematical problem remained. Qatar is a country with a domestic population of under 3 million people, only a fraction of whom are citizens. How does a nation that small justify keeping 8 of the most advanced high-capacity sporting venues on Earth? The official bid documents presented to FIFA offered a clean, sustainable answer. The excess stadium tiers would be dismantled. Lusail Stadium, the 80,000-seat crown jewel, would be hollowed out to host schools, cafes, and residential apartments. It was a beautiful corporate narrative, but as the years ticked by, the bulldozers never arrived. Instead of the promised transformation, the blueprints for these community hubs were quietly shelved. Take Lusail Stadium. Its gleaming golden exterior was designed to evoke traditional Islamic lanterns. The public plan was to downsize its 80,000-seat capacity to 40,000, repurposing the cavernous space inside for local residents. Original design renders showed classrooms nestled inside the massive concrete columns, shopping malls under the grandstands, and health clinics where locker rooms once stood. But walk through Lusail today and you will find no classrooms, no community clinics, and no public housing. The plans have been permanently paused. The stadium remains fully intact, its massive 80,000-seat bowl preserved in its exact World Cup state. The same story unfolded at Al Bayt Stadium, 40 kilometers north in Al Khor. Designed like a giant black and white Bedouin tent, it was meant to lose its entire upper tier, nearly 30,000 seats to be donated abroad. Today, those seats are still bolted to the concrete. To the outside observer, this looks like a colossal administrative failure. Critics pointed to the empty halls as proof of sports-washing hubris. But the reality is far more calculated. Qatar did not abandon their downsizing plans because of poor planning. They stopped them because they realized these physical structures gave them a unique geopolitical superpower. In the world of modern sports, hosting a major international tournament is a logistical nightmare that takes years of planning, political debate, and billions in public spending. But Qatar realized they had already paid that price. By keeping their stadiums at maximum capacity, they had something no other nation on Earth possessed: a fully operational, plug-and-play tournament infrastructure. They did not need to downsize their stadiums, they just needed to buy more tournaments to fill them. The pivot happened almost immediately. When China withdrew from hosting the 2023 Asian Cup due to its zero-COVID policy, Qatar stepped in as the emergency savior. With just a few months' notice, they spun up their World Cup venues, welcomed the continent, and won the trophy on home turf in early 2024. Shortly after, they hosted the Under-23 Asian Cup across the exact same network. Then came the definitive proof of the strategy. FIFA officially awarded Qatar the rights to host the Arab Cup not just once, but for 3 consecutive editions: 2025, 2029, and 2033. The December 2025 Arab Cup was not some quiet, under-the-radar regional event. It was a massive, sold-out spectacle. Total tournament attendance blew past 1.2 million spectators, making it the first Arab Cup in history to break the 1 million mark. For the final, over 84,000 fans packed into a fully intact Lusail Stadium to watch Morocco defeat Jordan in a highly charged atmosphere. This is the turnkey sports monopoly. While other countries spend decades debating budgets and environmental impact reports to build a single new stadium, Qatar can host a global tournament next Tuesday.
But what about the ultimate symbol of Qatar's green promises? Stadium 974 was heralded as the future of sustainable architecture. Constructed on the Doha waterfront using exactly 974 shipping containers and modular steel, it was designed to be completely dismantled, flat-packed, and shipped to a developing nation. It was a viral marketing sensation during the World Cup. Yet, if you look at the Doha coastline today, Stadium 974 is still there, its colorful shipping containers baking in the desert sun. The official narrative suggested the stadium would disappear immediately after the tournament. Instead, Qatar kept it fully assembled. In late 2025, it was brought back into active service to host matches for the Arab Cup. Why? Why would a temporary stadium designed to prove sustainability be kept as a permanent fixture? The answer lies in the harsh realities of global logistics. Insiders suggest that the actual cost of dismantling a massive modular stadium, meticulously labeling every single shipping container, transporting them thousands of miles across the ocean, and then paying for the highly specialized labor to reassemble them in Africa or South America is astronomically expensive. In fact, reports indicate that the total logistical cost of moving Stadium 974 would likely exceed the budget of simply building a brand new standard concrete stadium from scratch in those target nations. Faced with the choice of paying a premium to fulfill a public relations promise or keeping a unique waterfront stadium for their expanding tournament portfolio, Qatar chose the latter. The temporary illusion became a permanent asset. This strategy of perpetual hosting has created a bizarre dual reality in Qatari football, a stark contrast between international prestige and local indifference. While Qatar can pack 80,000 screaming fans into Lusail for a regional final, the domestic reality is incredibly quiet. 3 of the World Cup stadiums, Ahmad bin Ali, Al Janoub, and Education City, were downsized and handed over to local Qatar Stars League clubs like Al Rayyan and Al Wakra. These are stunning, award-winning venues. Al Janoub, designed by the legendary architect Zaha Hadid, features flowing curves inspired by the sails of traditional dhow boats. Education City sits nestled among elite global universities, acting as a campus hub. But when the local league plays on a Friday night, the atmosphere changes completely. The average attendance for Qatar Stars League matches often hovers between 1,500 and 3,000 spectators. Massive 20,000-seat arenas sit mostly empty, the cheers of a tiny crowd echoing off thousands of vacant, brightly colored plastic seats. Even the Khalifa International Stadium, the historic home of Qatari sports built way back in 1976 and heavily renovated for the World Cup, sits quietly waiting for the next international track and field event or multinational cup. This is the compromise Qatar has accepted. They do not need these stadiums to be full for local league matches. They do not care if Al Wakra plays in front of an empty house. The local league is not the point. The stadiums exist as physical instruments of foreign policy. Critics call this sports washing, the systematic use of elite athletics to burnish a country's reputation, distract from human rights records, and build soft power. And while that critique is valid, Qatar's strategy is actually far more ambitious. It is about survival and economic diversification. Qatar is a small peninsula surrounded by larger, historically dominant neighbors. By positioning itself as the undisputed, neutral capital of global sports and diplomacy, Qatar builds a layer of international protection that cannot be bought with military hardware alone. When the world associates your capital city with elite sport, tourism, and state-of-the-art infrastructure, you become too visible to ignore and too integrated into the global economy to threaten. Furthermore, they are playing the long game for a post-gas future. The revenues from natural gas will not last forever, but a reputation as a global logistics, transit, and sports hub can, and this playbook is already being copied. Across the border, Saudi Arabia is currently preparing for the 2024 World Cup. They are not looking at Qatar's empty domestic stadiums as a warning. They are looking at them as a blueprint. They see how Qatar bypassed the white elephant curse by simply buying up the tournaments required to keep the lights on. Years after the final whistle of the 2022 World Cup, the physical structures in Doha are not decaying monuments to the past. They are the foundation of a new era of sports diplomacy. Qatar never intended to recycle their stadiums. They intended to change the rules of global sports forever. And if you look at the crowded schedule of tournaments lined up in Doha all the way through 2023, they did exactly that.